Hola, buenos dias, amigos. Welcome to Miss Cindy's Spanish class. Today, we're going to make piñatas. Yay! That's always one of our favorite things to do every year. We're going to do it in celebration of Cinco de Mayo. Cinco. Now that sounds familiar. How do we know that word? Oh, I know. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. So cinco is 5. De Mayo. Mayo. Oh, May. That's the month, our next month. So Cinco de Mayo is the 5th day of May. A long, long, long time ago, this country called France decided they wanted to own Mexico. And Mexico was like, I'm not having any of that. So they kind of argued and didn't get along for a while. And then finally, France gave up and Mexico got to stay its own country. So they celebrate in some of the areas in Mexico Cinco de Mayo every year. For some unknown reason, it's become a bigger holiday in the United States. Usually a lot of us make different kind of Spanish and Mexican foods and celebrate. And one way we celebrate is by making a piñata. Okay, here are the things we're going to need to make a piñata. We're going to need a sack. We're going to need some colorful paper, sheets of paper. If you don't have colorful paper, you can use white, and then you can just color it later with your markers or paint. And then we're going to need some glue. This kind of glue works best instead of glue sticks. And we're going to need some scissors, and we're going to need a stapler, and then some kind of ribbon. So let's go over that again so you can pause and go get your supplies. A sack, a stapler, some scissors, some paper, some glue, and then some ribbon. Okay, let me show you how we're going to make these. So you're going to take your paper and kind of go to put it all together, and then you're going to lay your sack on top of it to be your pattern. See how I laid my sack on top of it? And then I'm just going to cut right up the side of the sack. It's okay if it's a little bit wider than the sack. It's fine. Okay? So then we're going to move those pieces of paper out of the way. We don't need those. We're going to set our sack down. Then we're going to start cutting strips about 2 inches wide. You see how I'm doing it? We're just going to cut those strips down and let them fall. We're going to keep doing that till we're already to the very end of the sack. So I'm cutting lots of strips. You know, if you don't have a paper sack at home to make a piñata out of, you can use a box, like a cracker box or something like that, and decorate it. It'll be just fine. My favorite kind of sack to use are the sacks that you get at Walmart that you put your frozen food in, but I just didn't have any of those this time. Okay, so we have all of our colorful paper, and it's all cut up into strips. So the next thing we're going to do is take some of our paper, then we're going to take our scissors, and we're going to start cutting little lines in it, about halfway up. Cut, move over, cut, and we're going to do that all the way across. So I know that's a lot of work with our scissors and how we're having to do it, but we have to be very patient. Cut, 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 and cut. All right, let me show you what one looks like after we've cut it. See, it has all these little ruffles at the bottom of it. Do you see that? So then you need to do that with all of your little lines of paper. So you have ruffles on all of them. So then we're going to start with the flat side of a sack. A sack has a flat side, and then it has the bottom side. Let's start with the flat side. So we're going to get one of our pieces of paper that we already cut the ruffles on. We're going to get our glue. We're going to put just a little bit of glue across the top of the paper where we haven't cut. And then we're going to take it, and we're going to mash it on our sack right across the bottom, just like this. You see how I did that? Okay, let's find another color. Well, I have some green ones. This green is beautiful. Same thing, I'm going to get a line of glue. I'm going to put it on the piece of paper like that. Then I'm going to come above that pink one that I just put down, and I'm going to mash it down. See how we're doing so far? Okay, let's keep going. Here's my Rojo paper. So far we have Rosa, we have Verde, we have Rojo. I'm going to put the Rojo above the Verde. So we have Rosa, Verde, Rojo. What color am I going to use next? Next I have orange and Enredado. Okay, see, here it is. I'm going to put some glue on it. Come on, and mash it down. All right. Oh, the next color, Amarillo. Here's our Amarillo paper. Once again, we're just going to put a little bit of glue down right above our ruffle we made. We're going to mash it down. And then our next one, our beautiful Azul. I love this color, Azul blue. And our next one we have is our purple, Dorado. Put a little glue on it. And we're going to get all the way up to the top. And then I'm going to leave this part blank, okay? Then we're going to flip our sack over, and we're going to pull that bottom down. See how we pull that bottom down? And we're going to start just like we did on the other side. So we have Rosa first. And you can use any colors that you want. Like I said, if you don't have colored paper at home, any construction paper or anything like that, you can just use white paper. You can use notebook paper. You can use wrapping paper. That would be really pretty. Okay, our next color, Verde. Verde. We're making our piñata. Some of you may remember us doing this last year. We went to the big tree by the playground, and we all wore something to cover our eyes up so we couldn't see. And we took a great big bat. We took turns swinging at the piñata. If you want to do this at home and hang it up, and you don't have a big bat, you can just use a broomstick or something like this. Orange and Enredado. We'll put it above the Rojo. Then next, our Amarillo, yellow. We're making really good progress with our piñata, aren't we? Okay, next we have our blue, Azul. Blue, Azul. And finally, we have our purple, Dorado. And it depends on how big your sacks are. You may have to repeat your colors again. So once you get this done, you're going to need to let it sit out for a while so that the glue dries really well for you. I did one earlier, and let me show it to you. Now I'm going to open the sack up. And some of the pieces of paper may have glued to each other, so you just have to be gentle and undo them. So look how pretty it looks. You can always take a pencil and roll your ruffles up if you want to, so it has more dimension to it. See how pretty that is? Okay, if you want to take some paint or your markers or some stickers, you can decorate the sides of your piñata. Okay, so now that we opened it up, it's time to fill it up. So if you have any candy around the house, you can put some candy in it. Now reach in and have some candy. This is some candy Miss Teresa had saved for us for making our piñata with. Thank you, Miss Teresa. So I'm going to put some candy in there. What else could you put in the piñata? How about some little toys you might have around the house? Or you can make things. You can make notes, make some flowers, and color some little notes. Those would be fun to have in there. Or some pencils. How about some pencils? Or some money, some pennies, some dimes, some quarters. Those are all fun things to have in our piñata, aren't they? Okay, so once we have our prizes in the piñata, we're going to take it and we're going to fold over the part that doesn't have any colorful paper over it, over to that. And then we're going to take a big piece of ribbon. I like this orange sparkly ribbon. We're going to put it underneath. First, I need to cut off the ends of the knot so that they don't show. Cut, 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 cut. Glitter everywhere. So I'm going to slip this underneath here. And this is where you might have to have your mommy help you. Or your sister or your daddy, whoever's around to help. And then I'm going to take my stapler and I'm going to staple it close. Staple, staple, and staple. And we want to make sure that that ribbon is underneath there good. I need one more staple over here to keep that ribbon underneath there. Okay, so it looks fantastic on this side, but on the back side, it still has a brown piece. So let's pick one more piece of paper, or let's pick this yellow. Let's put some glue on this yellow. Let's put it across the top. I'm going to put one more staple here, here, and here. And there you have it, boys and girls, our paper bag piñata filled with lots of treats so you can celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Okay, this is one that you can fill up stuff for the whole family. Let me show you another way you can make a piñata. Let me move all of my paper out of the way so I can show you this way. Okay, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a cup of some kind. Mine's just a styrofoam cup, and some kind of disposable cup. You're going to need a paintbrush or markers, it depends on what you have. A piece of paper towel, a plate if you're going to paint it, some little pieces of tissue paper cut into circles, and some paints, just whatever you have around the house. And then finally, you're going to need some water for rinsing your paintbrush. So if some of you go out to eat or go through the drive-thru and pick up your food, or you have some food delivered to you, and you have some cups that have lids, those are great things. If you don't have any paint or markers to cover them up, you can just do paper like we just did for our big piñata. So these are the three colors I had at home. I have some azul. I have some morado, purple, and I have some amarillo, yellow. So I've got my three paints on my paper. So the best way to paint your brush is just to paint your cup, is just to put your hand in it. And we're going to make 3 sections with 3 different stripes. What color do you want to start at the bottom with? Which color? Oh, I heard azul the most, so we're going to start with our azul. So we just take some and put it on our paintbrush, and we're just going to start painting all the way around a great big stripe. And we have to twist it on our hand. It might be easier for y'all because my hand's kind of big. All right, so see what we did? We made an azul stripe all the way around it. So I'm going to take my brush, rinse, 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 rinse. I'm going to squeeze it out. Rinse, 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 rinse. Squeeze it out. And then I'm going to dab it on my paper towel to dry it off and make sure I've got the other color off. Okay, what color do you want to do next? How about amarillo, yellow? Okay, let's get that on our paintbrush. We're going to start making another stripe. Amarillo and azul look very pretty together. Those are pretty colors together. If you want to do it in the traditional colors of Mexico, That's red, green, and white, which is rojo, verde, and blanco. But we're just going to do it in our colors today. Okay. Doesn't that amarillo look pretty in there? Okay, so what should we do now? Take our brush, rinse, 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 rinse. Squeeze it out. Rinse, 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 rinse. And squeeze it out. I'm going to dab it on my paper towel to dry it off. And now I'm going to use Morado purple to finish it out. I'm going to try not to get too much of this on my hand. Have you ever painted on a cup before? It is really a lot of fun. And it's really easy to do when you can just put your cup on your hand and twirl it around like that. You know what? This Morado is beautiful next to this Amarillo too. When you're finished painting your cup, or your cups, if you want to make one for everybody in your family as a surprise, feel free to do that too. You need to set your cups out for a little while and let them dry really good before you do anything to them. So here's what my cup looks like. You can use any colors you want, but I did Azul, Amarillo, and Morado for my colors. Okay, I'm going to put my brush in my water and move it out of the way. I'm going to move my paints out of the way, and I'm going to set my cup down here to dry. There you go. All right, let me show you what I made one earlier. And here's what it looks like. I did my colors in the opposite direction. So I took a ribbon, some ribbon I had in the house, and I poked a couple of holes on either side, little tiny holes on either side of my cup. And your mommy can help you tie, or your dad or your brothers or sisters or whoever's with you today can help you tie knots into them so they won't come through. So this is going to be our handle. And then I wanted to decorate it some, so I had some orange stickers. So I put the letters of my name on my cup. Let me mash down that C. So there's my name. Can you see it? C-I-N-D-Y. Cindy. So if you have some letter stickers, you can put your mom's name on one and your dad's name, or your brother or your sister, or even your dog or your cat's name on there. Okay, what should we do next? Fill it up with prizes. Okay, let me go to my prize bag, Miss Teresa saved for me. Okay, I'm going to put a couple of ring tops in here. And what else do I have in here? Oh, some sour punch straws. Those look good. But if you have money, or you just want to write a little note and say, I love you, Mom, and then a couple of Dum Dum suckers. That's a lot in that one cup. So the final thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little piece of tissue paper that I made. If you don't have tissue paper, you can just use a little piece of construction paper, or even paper towel if you have a little piece of paper towel. So I'm going to take my glue, and I'm going to run it around the edge. And you don't need a whole lot of glue for tissue paper to stick to. And if you have a cup that came with a lid, you don't even have to do this. You can just put the lid down and maybe decorate it up with some stickers. I love stickers, don't you? So look, now I'm taking my little piece of tissue paper. I'm going to pull it across the top, and I'm just going to mash it down right into that glue. That's kind of an icky, sticky job. So you may have to dry your hands off a few times on your paper towel. So look, here's our small piñatas ready to take out and have fun with. Why don't you try making these for your whole family? And everybody can take turns. You can hang it up and see how many tries it takes you. But always wear a blindfold on your eye. That makes it much more fun to have your eyes covered up so you can't see what you're swinging at. All right, boys and girls. Today we talked about Cinco de Mayo, and then we made piñatas to help celebrate if you're going to have a party at home. So we made our big family-sized piñata out of a sack. We said if you don't have a sack, you can make it out of a box, a cracker box, whatever you have. And then we made our individual piñatas out of cups. I can't wait till these dry and I'm able to take them outside and hang them in the tree and then have somebody bust them open and get the prizes out of. That'll be so much fun, won't it? All right, boys and girls, next week is our last week in Spanish class, so we're going to do our final color. We're going to work together and make our own rainbow so you can keep it, so you can keep up with your colors for the summertime. Until next week, boys and girls, have fun at Cinco de Mayo and adios, amigos. Adios. Goodbye.